Welcome back, everyone, to another explainer. Today, we're taking some incredibly deep, complex wisdom and breaking it right down into clear, actionable concepts that you can actually use right now. We've got an absolutely special topic today. We are unpacking the profound, timeless wisdom of a legendary figure, Hakiim Luqmaan. We're going to explore his teachings through a really fascinating compilation that literally distills his entire life's philosophy into 500 actionable gems. So if you want to understand how ancient clarity can completely sharpen your modern life, well, you are in the exact right place. But before we actually jump into the text, I want you to just think about a typical day for a second. We're living in this world of endless notifications, piling responsibilities, rapid-fire arguments all over social media, and just this constant, persistent anxiety. It can feel completely overwhelming, right? Well, what if I told you that an ancient sage living centuries and centuries ago diagnosed the exact root of our modern stress? The incredible thing about true wisdom is that human nature, at its core, really hasn't changed. The answers to our modern anxieties might just be waiting for us right there in the past. Okay, let's dive right into this. Section 1, the ancient sage. So who exactly was Hakiim Luqmaan, and why should we be paying so much attention to what he had to say? Well, Hakiim Luqmaan is celebrated all across history as a man of extraordinary wisdom. In fact, the title Hakiim literally translates to the wise. He isn't famous for conquering nations or amassing endless piles of wealth. His entire legacy is built on his profound understanding of human character, ethics, and how we relate to the world around us. And to truly grasp this, we're going straight to the source material, Wisdom of Hakiim Luqmaan, 500 Gems. Grounding our explainer in the specific physical text lets us move way past those vague internet quotes and dig into a structured, highly regarded collection of his actual teachings. Let's take a quick second to establish the credibility of the compilation we're pulling from. This specific collection was compiled by Sheikh Yusuf Kathar Muhammad. The English translation was very carefully edited by Mufti Afzal Hussein Elias, and the whole shebang was published by Zamzam Publishers. It's really important to acknowledge the scholars who translated and preserved these gems, because it's their careful work that actually allows us to extract all this amazing knowledge today. Moving right along to Section 2. The 500 Gems Collection. Now, what's really interesting about this compilation isn't just what is said, but how it's presented. This isn't some dense, complicated philosophical textbook that you need a dictionary to slog through. It is carefully curated into distinct, shining pieces of insight. The book is essentially built on a modular structure. Each gem is presented as a distinct piece of actionable life advice, so you don't have to read it all in one sitting. You can take just one single gem, reflect on it for an entire day, and start implementing it immediately. Let's look at one of the absolute foundational concepts in Luqmaan's philosophy. I want to slow down for a second here because this is powerful. A massive portion of Luqmaan's wisdom revolves around the profound value of controlling your speech and actually embracing silence. Luqmaan taught that the wise person's heart is always ahead of their tongue, while the foolish person's tongue is always ahead of their heart. In our modern era, we're constantly pressured to speak, to post, to share our opinion instantly. But Luqmaan teaches us that true wisdom often lies in knowing exactly when to stay completely quiet. Silence isn't empty. It is absolutely full of observation, restraint, and power. Listen, if this first concept of strategic silence is already resonating with you and you're finding real value in this clear, structured wisdom, take a quick second right now to smash those subscribe and like buttons. It tells us that you want more visual explainers exactly like this one, helping you master complex life concepts efficiently. All right, Section 3, Wisdom for Daily Life. Let's transition from abstract philosophy into practical reality. How do we take this ancient wisdom and apply it to, say, a super busy Tuesday afternoon when we're dealing with difficult people? Well, a recurring theme in Luqmaan's teachings is the concept of patience. He famously described patience as a bitter plant that ultimately bears incredibly sweet fruit. And he doesn't frame patience as some passive, weak trait. No way. He frames it as an active, incredibly strong shield. It's your tool for enduring the everyday friction of life without letting it corrupt your inner peace. And this brilliantly illustrates a sharp contrast in the text between how a wise person behaves versus a foolish person. When faced with conflict, the foolish person just reacts immediately, snapping like a dry branch and escalating the whole situation out of pure pride. But the wise person, according to Luqmaan, absorbs the moment like a deep well. They let the insult or the frustration hit the shield of their patience. By delaying their reaction, they completely maintain control of the situation and, honestly, more importantly, they maintain control of themselves. Which brings us to Section 4, Cultivating Noble Character. This mastery of self-control leads us directly into our next key theme from the gems. You see, for Luqmaan, all this advice about speech and patience ultimately serves one single purpose: building an unbreakable internal character. Luqmaan places ultimate value on the nobility of your inner character way above any external wealth, status, or fancy title. To him, external things can be taken away in a literal instant, but a noble character, that is a permanent fortress. Wealth can be stolen, but who you are internally is yours forever. So how exactly is that fortress built? It's built through adversity. The text features these incredibly powerful statements highlighting that enduring hardships is exactly what builds this unbreakable, noble character. You absolutely do not become wise while sitting in comfort. The trials, the difficulties, those moments where it takes every single ounce of your energy to remain patient and silent, those are the hammer and anvil forging your character. It takes some serious dedication to embrace hardships as a tool for growth. If you're watching this and you are truly, genuinely committed to building your own noble character, hit that like button right now to cement that commitment. Let's move to Section 5 and see how this builds into applying the lessons today. The true power of this compilation by Sheikh Yusuf Qathar Muhammad is its pure accessibility. The goal isn't just to memorize 500 gems so you can sound super smart at dinner parties, right? Reading ancient wisdom is wonderful, but if it just stays in the book, it doesn't actually change your life. The ultimate goal here is taking the wisdom off the page and making it the literal operating system for your daily life. So based on everything we've synthesized from Luqmaan's teachings, here are 3 highly actionable steps you can walk away with right now. Step 1, pause before reacting. Whenever a stressor hits you, just give yourself a 2-second buffer. Step 2, guard your tongue from unnecessary words. Keep your heart ahead of your tongue. If what you're about to say doesn't actually improve upon the silence, just don't say it. And step 3, choose patience over instant gratification. You have to understand that real character is built in the long game, not in the quick dopamine hit of winning some petty little argument. Now this brings us to a really crucial moment of reflection about everything we've unpacked today. We've gone through some profound ideas around the power of silence, the absolute armor of patience, and the forging of an unbreakable internal character. I want you to just take a moment right now to reflect on your own daily habits and the specific friction points in your life. If you know someone who could use a little ancient wisdom to relieve their modern stress, please share this explainer with them and make sure you subscribe for more visual breakdowns just like this. But before you click away, I want to leave you with this final thought. Out of the 500 gems of silence, patience, and character we explore today, which specific lesson are you going to put into practice the exact moment this explainer ends? Really think about it. Keep building that noble character, and I will see you next time.